Carl Jung taught us that true transformation occurs when we make the conscious decision to value ourselves. But this is not a simple motivational phrase. It is a profound act of reconciliation with our essence, with the parts we love and with those we have tried to hide or deny. Valuing who you are means embracing all facets of your being, even the darkest and most challenging ones. Perhaps you have felt it at some point. A disconnection between what you show to the world and what you really are, that internal void that no relationship, achievement, or material possession seems to fill. Jung described this sensation as the clamor of your unconscious, that deep part of you that longs to be heard and recognized. When you ignore this call, you face an endless cycle of dissatisfaction, failed relationships, and a constant feeling of being out of place. The unconscious does not communicate with words. It does so through symbols, dreams, and intense emotions. Have you ever had a hunch that you ignored, only to realize later that you should have followed it? Or have you experienced an internal conflict so strong that you cannot explain it with logic? These are manifestations of your unconscious trying to guide you toward a more authentic life. Deciding to value yourself means opening up to this internal dialogue, and more importantly, acting accordingly. But this path is not easy. It involves confronting what Jung called the shadow, that part of ourselves that we prefer not to look at because it contradicts the image we want to project to the world. Maybe it is a fear, an insecurity, or even a desire that you have repressed for years. The shadow does not disappear because you ignore it. On the contrary, it grows and manifests in ways that often harm us. It can emerge as conflicts in your relationships, a sense of emptiness, or repetitive patterns that leave you trapped in the same situations. When you decide to face your shadow instead of running away from it, you begin to discover a transformative truth. You are not your mistakes, your fears, or your failures. You are a complete and complex being who has the power to grow and evolve. This integration not only brings peace, but also releases a tremendous amount of energy that was previously trapped in maintaining appearances or fighting against yourself. The act of valuing yourself also involves protecting your energy, recognizing that not all people or situations deserve your time and attention. Jung taught us that our relationships reflect aspects of ourselves. The people we allow into our lives have the power to elevate us or to distance us from our purpose. How many times have you maintained relationships that drain you because you thought you had no other choice? By valuing who you are, you realize that you not only have options, but also the right to choose what nourishes and strengthens you. When you start saying no to what does not resonate with you, you send a clear message to your unconscious. I am worthy. This internal change does not go unnoticed. Little by little, you will notice how the right people begin to appear in your life, how opportunities align, and above all, how you find a peace that previously seemed unattainable. The path to authenticity is deeply personal and often filled with challenges. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when external voices try to divert you from your truth. But it is precisely in those moments that it is most important to remember that this journey is yours and no one else's. Jung believed that the purpose of life was not to achieve superficial happiness, but a wholeness that is only possible when you live in alignment with your authentic self. When you decide to listen to yourself, something profound begins to change. You start to notice patterns in your life that previously seemed invisible. The same situations that used to frustrate you or make you feel trapped now become opportunities to learn. It is as if the external world reflects your internal state, a concept that Jung described as projection. What you love or detest in others is nothing more than a mirror of parts of yourself that you have not yet recognized or accepted. For example, if you constantly find yourself in relationships where you are not valued, it is likely a sign that you are not valuing yourself. This is not a judgment, but an invitation to reflect. What part of you is allowing these dynamics to continue? By exploring these questions with honesty, you begin to reclaim your power. You start to understand that you are not a victim of circumstances, but an active participant in your own life. Transformation does not come overnight. It requires constant effort to challenge the limiting beliefs you have carried with you for years. Beliefs like, I am not enough, I need to change to be loved, or I cannot be myself because I will not fit in. These ideas are like invisible chains that bind you, but once you decide to question them, you realize they have less power than you imagined. Jung held that emotional pain is a sign of growth, as if the soul is pushing you toward a new level of consciousness. But to get there, you need to go through chaos. It is in those moments of confusion and challenge where you can learn the most about yourself. Instead of fearing chaos, Jung invites us to embrace it as a necessary part of the transformation process. Think of it like a forest fire. At first, the fire seems destructive, but in reality, it is clearing the ground for new forms of life to flourish. This is how your mind works too. When you decide to face your fears, your insecurities, and your shadows, you are creating space for something new, something better. The universe responds to this transformation in ways that seem magical. Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, those moments when things seem to align inexplicably. Perhaps you meet someone who shares an idea you needed to hear, or an opportunity arrives just when you are about to give up. These are not mere coincidences. They are signs that you are on the right path, that your interior is in tune with the world around you. But to experience this synchronicity, you need to trust the process. You cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can choose how you respond. When you choose to value yourself, trust your intuition, and act from your truth, you become a magnet for experiences that reflect that energy. As you progress on this path, you will realize that many of the things that once seemed important to you no longer are. The opinions of others, societal expectations, even the fears that used to paralyze you, begin to lose their power. In their place, a sense of freedom emerges, a clarity that allows you to see what really matters. When you choose to free yourself from those external expectations, you realize something crucial. You do not need the validation of others to feel complete. This is one of the greatest lessons from Jung's work. Most of us have been conditioned to seek external approval, to measure our worth through the eyes of those around us. But when you make the conscious decision to value yourself, that need begins to fade. True value does not come from what others think of you, but from what you think of yourself. It is an internal shift that transforms the way you interact with the world. You no longer seek to fit in or please others. Instead, you begin to act from a place of authenticity, aligned with your values and purpose. This change not only affects your relationship with yourself, but also the relationships you have with others. When you value yourself, you start to attract people who recognize and appreciate your true essence. These connections are not based on needs or superficialities, but on mutual respect and a deep understanding. Suddenly, the relationships that used to drain you also involve letting go. Jung said that personal growth often requires letting go of what no longer serves our purpose. This can be painful, especially if you are deeply attached to certain people, beliefs, or situations. But the act of letting go is not a loss. It is a liberation. Every time you choose to let go of something that is not aligned with you, you are creating space for something new and better. At this point, you might wonder, how do I know what to let go of and what to keep? The answer, according to Jung, lies in your intuition, that inner voice that has always been there guiding you, even if it is sometimes hard to hear amidst the noise of the outside world. By deciding to value yourself, you start to trust that voice more. You learn to distinguish between what is authentic and what is not, between what elevates you and what limits you. It is in this state of connection with yourself where true magic arises. Your dreams, those you may have forgotten or discarded, begin to take shape again. Jung believed that our dreams are a direct manifestation of our unconscious, a way to communicate what we truly desire deep within our being. When you decide to value yourself, those dreams cease to be mere fantasies and become real possibilities. But this is not a linear path. There will be days when you feel discouraged, when doubts and old patterns try to drag you back. This is part of the process. Jung said that true growth occurs in a spiral. As you progress, sometimes it seems like you are returning to the same place. But in reality, you are seeing things from a higher level of consciousness. The work you do with yourself not only benefits you. By choosing to value yourself, You become a source of inspiration for others. Your authenticity impacts those around you, encouraging them to explore their own truth. Jung believed that change in an individual has the power to transform entire systems, from family relationships to entire communities. Every step you take on this journey of self-valuation is an act of courage. You are challenging beliefs that have been with you for years, perhaps even generations. You are rewriting the narrative of your life, deciding that you deserve more than just surviving. You deserve to live fully, with purpose, and in alignment with who you really are. As you continue on this path of transformation, you start to notice subtle but powerful changes in your daily life. Mental clarity becomes a constant companion. That fog of doubts and confusion that used to cloud your decisions dissipates. Now, you make decisions from a place of internal trust, guided not by fear, but by a deep knowledge of who you are and what you need. This change impacts all areas of your life. Your relationships begin to flourish because you are no longer trapped in dynamics of codependency or the need for approval. Now, you surround yourself with people who respect and value your authenticity, not because you have changed to please them, but because by valuing yourself, you send a signal to the world that you deserve the best, and the world responds. Your work, your passions, and your goals also align with this new state of consciousness. Perhaps before, you settled for a job or a routine that drained your energy because you thought there was no other option. Now, you see possibilities where before there were only limitations. Jung believed that when you connect with your unconscious, you unlock a creative potential that transcends external barriers. That potential drives you to seek opportunities that truly resonate with you and fill you with purpose. However, this process is not without challenges. As you grow and evolve, it is inevitable that you will encounter resistance, both internal and external. You may face criticism from those who do not understand your transformation, or old patterns of thinking may arise trying to sabotage your progress. It is important to remember that these resistances are not insurmountable obstacles, but signals that you are moving into new and unknown territory. Jung encouraged us to face these challenges with courage and compassion toward ourselves. It is not about perfection, but about commitment. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. Even moments of doubt have a purpose. They invite you to reflect, readjust, and move forward with more strength. The concept of individuation is key in Jung's work. It is not just about reaching a state of superficial happiness, but about accepting and uniting all parts of your being, your virtues, your flaws, your achievements, and your mistakes. This integration is what gives you wholeness, a sense of being complete and at peace with yourself. At this point, you may wonder, how do I maintain this transformation in the long term? The answer lies in daily practice. Valuing who you are is not a one-time decision, but a habit that is cultivated over time. Every day, you have the opportunity to reaffirm your value through your choices, your words, and your actions. A powerful exercise is to dedicate time to introspection. Jung spoke of the importance of moments of solitude, not as an escape, but as an opportunity to reconnect with yourself. This could be through meditation, writing, or simply spending time in nature. These moments of silence are like a mirror, reflecting your internal state and helping you realign when necessary. Another key aspect is learning to listen to your intuition. That inner voice that, although often soft, always guides you toward what is best for you. Trust it. As you develop this connection, you will notice that important decisions in your life become easier because they are no longer dictated by fear or external expectations, but by your internal truth. As you continue to explore this path, you will also discover that gratitude plays a fundamental role. Valuing who you are also involves appreciating what you have, the people around you, and the lessons life offers you. This gratitude not only strengthens your connection with yourself, but also opens doors to new opportunities and experiences. In this process of transformation, you will realize that life becomes a reflection of your inner world. Jung explained that what we experience externally is a manifestation of our internal consciousness. When you decide to value yourself, when you choose to recognize your truth and live from it, The universe responds in ways that previously seemed impossible. It is as if every step you take, aligned with your essence, activates a series of events and connections that work in your favor. This does not mean that suddenly everything is perfect, or that there will be no more challenges, but you will notice that those challenges no longer destabilize you in the same way. They become opportunities to strengthen your connection with yourself, to deepen your growth, and to reaffirm your commitment to your authenticity. Every obstacle you overcome shows you that you are stronger than you thought, and that you can trust yourself even in the most difficult moments. As you progress, you also begin to perceive relationships differently. You become more aware of the energies around you and how they interact with you. You learn to set clear boundaries, not from a place of rejection, but from a place of self-love. You recognize that protecting your energy is essential to continue growing and to maintain a state of balance and peace. The people who remain in your life and the new ones who arrive do so because they resonate with your new frequency. These connections feel more authentic, more enriching. You no longer need to struggle to maintain relationships that do not flow naturally. Instead, interactions become more meaningful, more aligned with your purpose and values. Additionally, your relationship with time changes. Before, you might have felt that there was always a rush, that you needed to achieve goals quickly or meet external expectations. Now, you allow yourself to move at your own pace, trusting that everything comes at the right time. This trust not only reduces stress, but also allows you to enjoy the present with a depth you may not have experienced before. Jung taught us that time dedicated to knowing ourselves is never wasted. It is, in fact, the most valuable investment we can make. By valuing yourself, you are building a solid foundation from which everything in your life can flourish. Your relationships, your projects, your dreams, even moments of stillness, those in which it seems nothing is happening, become part of the process because they are opportunities to reflect, recalibrate, and move forward. On this journey, you also find yourself facing profound questions about the meaning and purpose of your life. Jung believed that we are all on a conscious or unconscious quest for meaning. When you decide to value yourself, you open up to exploring these questions without fear. You begin to see your life as something that has a unique and valuable purpose, a purpose that only you can fulfill. But this purpose does not always reveal itself immediately. It is a gradual discovery that emerges through your daily choices, your interactions, and your moments of introspection. It is not about seeking something outside of you, but recognizing what is already within you. That spark of divinity, of creativity, of love that has always been waiting to be discovered and expressed. This process of self-valuation also leads you to develop greater empathy and understanding toward others. By accepting your own shadows and limitations, you become more compassionate with those of others. You realize that we are all on a similar journey, facing our own challenges and seeking our own truth. This understanding allows you to connect with others from a place of authenticity and empathy. As you delve deeper into this path of self-valuation, you begin to notice that the things that once limited you lose their power. It is as if the invisible chains that kept you trapped dissolve one by one. This does not happen by chance, but because you have consciously decided to prioritize your relationship with yourself. That simple yet powerful act creates a transformation in your energy, in how you see the world, and in how the world perceives you. Your environment begins to adapt to this new version of you. People who used to feed your insecurities or perpetuate negative patterns tend to drift away, while others who share your values and purpose appear in your life almost as if magnetically drawn. This change is not magic, but the result of an internal alignment that now reflects in your external reality. Jung held that our relationships and experiences are mirrors of our internal state. If you are surrounded by chaos or toxic relationships, it is an opportunity to look inward and ask yourself, what am I projecting? What part of me is allowing this to continue? This reflection can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary because only when you recognize your role in creating your reality can you take steps to transform it. When you choose to value yourself, you start to set healthy boundaries. These boundaries are not walls that isolate you from others, but bridges that protect your energy while allowing only what is positive and healthy to enter your life. At first, setting boundaries may feel strange, even selfish, but soon you realize that it is an act of self-love and ultimately, love for others. Because when you take care of yourself, you can also give your best to those around you. Over time, this constant practice of self-valuation completely transforms your perspective on success and happiness. Before, you might have thought that success was something external, a title, an achievement, approval. Now you realize that true success is inner peace, knowing that you are living in alignment with your truth. Happiness stops being something you chase and becomes something you experience in small moments of authenticity and connection. But this journey is not without moments of doubt or setback. There will be days when old beliefs try to return, when you find yourself questioning your progress. This is normal. Jung believed that growth is not linear, but cyclical. Every time you face a challenge or relive an old pattern, it is an opportunity to see it from a higher perspective, to learn something new about yourself, and to reinforce your commitment to your transformation. It is important to remember that you are not alone on this path. Although inner work is deeply personal, many are facing similar struggles. That shared connection, that understanding that we are all on a journey of self-discovery, creates a sense of community and belonging. By valuing yourself, you also inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that can transform not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. This process also leads you to redefine what it means to fail. Before, you might have seen mistakes as signs that you were not enough. Now, you see them as a natural part of learning, as necessary steps toward your evolution. Jung said that there is no awakening of consciousness without pain, and although this may sound challenging, it is also deeply liberating because once you accept that pain is part of the process, you stop fearing it and start learning from it. This journey toward self-valuation is ongoing, a path that is built with every decision, every reflection, and every act of self-love. But the most beautiful thing of all is that there is no final destination. Every step you take, every layer you unveil, brings you closer to the essence of who you really are, and in that discovery, you find not only your purpose, but also a joy and wholeness that once seemed unattainable. In the end, this path of self-valuation is not just about you, but about the impact you can have on the world. By choosing to live from your truth, Jung believed that when you dare to face your shadows, embrace your authenticity, and act from a place of consciousness, you inspire others to do the same. Your life becomes a beacon for those seeking their own path, showing that it is possible to live with purpose, clarity, and connection. Think about the times when a word, an idea, or an experience resonated with you so deeply that it changed your perspective. This video could be that moment for someone else. Maybe someone needs to hear this to take the first step toward their transformation, to let go of what no longer serves them, or to find the courage to face themselves. Now I invite you to reflect on what you have heard. What part of this message touched your heart? What action are you willing to take to start valuing yourself and transforming your life? I would love to read your thoughts in the comments. Your words are not only important to me, but also to the people who read and seek inspiration. Together, we can build a community where this message of authenticity and transformation reaches further. If this content resonated with you, share it. There are so many people in the world who need to hear this, who might be at that crucial point in their lives where a message can make a difference. Share this video with friends, family, or even on your social networks. You never know who you might be helping. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. This not only ensures that you won't miss our upcoming messages, but also helps this content reach more people. Every time you interact with a video, whether by liking, commenting, or sharing, you are helping to amplify this message of transformation and authenticity. Remember, change starts with you. Every action, no matter how small, has the power to generate an impact. Today could be the day you decide to value yourself, the day you choose to live from your truth, and by doing so, you will not only transform your life, but also inspire others to do the same. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for being part of this community. We will see you in the next video, where we will continue to explore together themes that awaken our consciousness and bring us closer to our best version. The world needs more authentic, courageous people, willing to transform their reality, and by being here, you're already making a difference. Until next time.